my gosh.
Beautiful song.
Celine
Yes,
Dion.
Celine Dion. She got married beautifully and well integrated here into it. Feels like this is England here, English style cottage here. That shows here the British influence of the city of Montreal to the city. It costs around $200 million here every year to the city.
Déposez marge.
Hello guys. The new vlogger.
The first Chinese who arrived here in the city of Montreal. They arrived quite a long ago. They arrived in the 1880s. They are the one who built up here and constructed the transcontinental railway system. This iconic railway system linking Montreal all the way to the Pacific coast and crossing the entire continent and the whole country of Canada from east to west. Take a look here as we're going to be crossing here Chinatown. On your left-hand side here, you will have the small pedestrian street, de la Gauchetière Street. It's a beautiful, little, quiet, huge street just here on your left-hand side. In the heart of the Chinatown here, this is here that you can come here and shop around here, go to the Chinese restaurants and so on. You have a little Chinese temples and pay attention, we have the Chinese lanterns hanging on the trees. Just here in front of us, in a distance in front of us, we're facing the old city. The old town is just in front of us. We cannot miss here the Alfred building, which is Art Deco style building here built up in the 1930s after the Greeks built up this church. So be ready to take a beautiful picture of this church here. You will see it as we go here, not this corner, but the next corner to your right hand side here. It's going to be behind the bus a little bit up the hill. You'll see the Notre Dame Church.
Oh my gosh.
Who is singing this beautiful song?
Celine Dion.
Yes, Celine Dion. She got married at 50s. Next building still on your right hand side is Montreal City Hall. Montreal City Hall, this is the back of Montreal City Hall, and it's built out here in the 1970s. What we're going to do, we're going to go around here, the boundary of the old hall. For now, on your left hand side here, you have just after this bridge, you have a huge building, which is the University Hospital Center of Montreal, which is the largest hospital all across Canada.
Oh yeah.
You come out ready because just here, left hand side here, sharp angle, just after the hospital, you will see a beautiful church steeple here. A beautiful church steeple which is beautifully and well integrated here into the architecture of the brand new hospital. Just now here, take a look on your left hand side. We see beautiful church steeple here. The church itself is gone, it doesn't exist, but we have kept this beautiful church steeple here for Easter. That was from here that back then here the transcontinental train used to leave from Montreal to go to Vancouver. We had here on the right hand side corner the hotel park. People who are down here, don't worry, we're gonna make a right here. So you'll see these beautiful buildings here. As we turn here, you will see it on your left hand side. So we had here the hotel park here where people used to do a layover and so on. And as we turn here, we'll continue, but street is the boundary of the old Montreal and the old Port Montreal. As we go here on your right, you're gonna go drive now along the old city. And as you drive here along on your left hand side, we have the old Port of Montreal. Take a look here in a couple of seconds on your left hand side. You will have all the cool activities that can be done here along the old Port of Montreal, such as the Ferris wheel, the zip line, and so on. That's quite
Oh, this is the one with
and in the winter time we come and ice skate here and so on. Coming up now to your left hand side here, we have this huge and massive building here with the beautiful dome here, which is Marché Bonsecours. We're going along here, Marché Bonsecours. The Bonsecours market used to be a public food market here, built up in the 1850s. There used to be a public food market here selling local food products over 100 years until the late 1950s. And now if you come back here, you have here on the second floor of this building here, a lot of souvenir shops, handicraft boutiques, art gallery, and so on, a few cafes and bars. And you can see here, Bon Secours Market, Marché Bon Secours, the former Court of Arms of Montreal. This beautiful building is a massive building, and it's built on a park which is called Laurier Park. Now this square is totally empty, but all these buildings are built up in the grey stone of Montreal. Coming up and keep the camera ready here, one of the highlights of the old Montreal here, just coming up on your right hand side. This is Jacques Cartier Square, La Place Jacques Cartier. It goes up the hill. This is here that nowadays you have all the little restaurants, the shop, the beautiful terraces, and all former warehouses and stores. And take a look, Halloween is on the way, or Halloween on a few days here is on the way, so that's why we have all these goats here popping up on the windows. So all these buildings here that we go along used to be warehouses and stores. It was here that back then all the goods that used to come from the Port of Montreal, they used to be inside all the way north, and it was the first boulevard here that was crossing the entire island from south to north. And once again, it's divided the city between the east and the west. The east, more than speaking, behind a part west, most important. Ahead of us, we have this museum here, which is in shape of an hour here. This building where it says Chevalier on it. This is the Museum Pointe-à-Calière. Museum Pointe-à-Calière is an iconic museum from Montreal here because it's an historical and archaeological museum. Why archaeological museum? Because on the 8th of May 1642, that was exactly here that the French arrived here. And back then, Montreal Island was totally virgin. We had none of these buildings. And it was exactly at the same location where you have the building museum now in front of us that the French built up the first construction of the city. Back then, it was a fort. The fort was named the Ville Marie Fort in memory of the Virgin Mary. And the fort doesn't exist. It's gone now. But instead, we built up this museum. And you can visit this museum and walk on a glass floor. And you can see the foundation of the very first construction of the city here, which was the Fort Ville Marie. Museum Pointe-à-Calière, an interesting museum that I encourage you to come and visit. On your left-hand side here, we're going along here to Dock Alexandra. And take a look here, we have this large cruise ship here, a large cruise ship on your left-hand side. This is here that the cruise ships are still coming and docking here. These cruise ships are usually coming from the Atlantic provinces, from St. John's, Halifax, New York, Boston. I believe this one here came this morning from Quebec City. Statue here straight ahead in front of us. People look over and down, you will see as we go right. He was the president of the Commission during the second part of the 19th century, and he have done a lot for the economic development of the Port of Montreal. Since, for instance, he dredged the St. Francois River into Montreal and Quebec City in order to get deeper water into the river, meaning deeper water into the river, meaning larger boats that you could have here to the city of Montreal. We're going to loop around here these buildings and we're going to get back here along the same street here. Now, we have here a Canada flag here floating on the right hand side. Beautiful Canada flag with the red maple leaf. And you have this large building here on your right hand side with these big grain silos. And then it was exported by boat to Europe. Well, as you can see here in front of us, people who are down, don't worry, we're going to make a left here and you will see this huge grain silo as we turn here on your right hand side. But for now, it's in front of us. As you can see, this huge grain silo here is not operating anymore. It's out of order. Doesn't run anymore. Why do we keep such a huge concrete grain silo here? To be honest, it's not the most beautiful building of the city. It looks like it's going to collapse. It is very rusty. Well, we keep it because it's part of the industrial heritage of the city of Montreal. Who was invited here back then for the Universal World Exhibition of 1967. It's a bit behind here, the bus on your right-hand side corner. Nowadays, these are private apartments here, nothing under $1 million. And we can see here the Regent Seven Seas cruise ship here on your left-hand side. Large cruise ship here with this glasses tower just next to it, which is now an observation deck. As you can see, it's quite a large cruise ship here. And it came this morning, and I think it leaves on Thursday. So, talking about architecture, we were speaking about this Socialist architecture, Habitat 7. Coming up, it's going to be on the left-hand side of the bus, just after the museum. You would have a beautiful view of the old town with such a beautiful diversity of architecture. You will see different buildings here, different period of construction, style of architecture. We'll see the beautiful Notre Dame Church Basilica This is a Catholic church built up in the 1820s, neo-Gothic style here. We'll see the two bell towers. On the right-hand side of the church, you will see here the alternate building, the Art Deco style building that looks like the Empire State Building that we have seen at one point here. So take a look on your left hand side here. Take a look on your left hand side. It's a beautiful view of the old town here. This beautiful diversity of architecture. The neo-Gothic style church here, the Art Deco style, and the international style. I love this view that we have of the old town here because we have such a beautiful diversity of architecture. So we have to imagine that this old port of Montreal here was back then here the busiest port of the country here. Why? Because all the boats that first of all, was one of the first main port of the country. And then all the boats that wanted to go to the Great Lakes, such as Area Lake, Michigan Lake, Ontario Lake, Stevens, and so on, they had to stop to the port. That's why was the busiest port of the country. And she was encouraging back then here the sailors to come and make a prayer inside of this church. Just after the stop sign here, we're going to continue. We're going to see the clock tower, the white clock tower, which was built up here for the marching sailors who lost their life First and Second World War. We'll see as well the beautiful St. Charles River. The St. Charles River is coming from the Ontario Lake, and it's coming. The river flows from behind on the right, and it's gonna flow all the way out northeast here, northeast direction is up from to the right. So we see the clock tower built up here for the marching sailors in memory of the marching sailors who lost their life First and Second World War. It's all in here. We have here the beautiful St. Charles River here, which is flowing northeast, and across the river St. Laurent, you have St. Helena Island. Along St. Helena Island, you have this geodesic dome here in the distance, which is the biosphere. The biosphere is a museum which is dedicated for water and the environment. But back then, that used to be the Pavilion of the United States here, or the Universal World Exhibition of 1967. What a great year here, 1967. We hold the Universal World Exhibition along the islands here. Another pavilion here remaining still. It's a little bit behind you on your right hand side here, in the far distance across the river, which is white building, which is now Montreal Casino, but I used to be the French pavilion. On top, St. Helena Islands and Notre Dame Islands. It is on the two islands here that we have now behind us here across the river that we host the Universal World Exhibition of 1967. 62 countries came from all around the planet. Each of these countries, they built up their own pavilion. Most of this pavilion has been removed after the Expo of 1967, but a few of them are still remaining there, such as the Sphere. It's after the Jacques Cartier Bridge that we have the Culture Port of Montreal. Mostly for the Boston, John Molson, of the year of 1780. Keep you come already. Since it's a shiny steeple, although it's a great weather today, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So keep becoming ready. You will see this church in a couple of seconds here. As soon as we're going to go ahead and cross the boulevard. Meantime, I will come down and show you these pictures.
Oh, it's so cold. Guys, are you enjoying? Sorry. Are you enjoying the coldness here?
With this shiny steeple, even if it's a gray weather today, it's always beautiful. I love this contrast that we have here. So the snow is beautiful, right inside. Now we have this beautiful community garden as well on your right hand side.
Hello.
And we have the soccer field here on your right hand side. And right after the soccer field, you will see a nice mural here talking about the fall in Montreal. Fall in Montreal. This is the season now for the fall. Take a look. Nice wall painting about the fall in Montreal on your right hand side. And right next to the right hand side here, you have summer in Montreal in this nice wall painting with the Montreal and so on the highways. So we have seen summer, fall, and winter. All we missed is the spring because we have no spring here in Montreal.
Really?
We go from the Wilfrid Peltier Hall, which is a music hall, and as well a theater, hosting as well the Opera of Montreal. So it is among this district here that we have all the theaters, music hall, concert hall, and so on. But Montreal is well known as well to have a lot of festivals. And it is in this neighborhood here that we have all the large festivals, such as the Francophone, the French Music Festival, the Jazz Festival, the First Nations Festival, the Just for Love festivals. And most of these festivals here are taking place here, either inside of this music hall and so on, but as well outside. For instance, here on your left-hand side, you have the festival square here on your left-hand side corner here. This is the largest square here, where we're building up a big stage in the winter time, in summertime, and we're doing shows here and concerts and music and so on. whatever show, whatever concert, which is outdoor here, it's always free here. And we go from week after week here from festivals like this. And you thank just listen song. And McGill campus is in between downtown Montreal, which is kind of behind us, or it's as we turn, it's going to be on your left hand side, and in between the Parc Montreal. Talking about the Parc Montreal, keep your camera ready here, because next street that we're going to be crossing here, it's going to be next corner here on your right hand side. After the traffic light here, you will see the McTavish pedestrian street that leads up here to the Parc Montreal. You'll have all these different buildings here that are all different pavilion here belonging to the McGill campus. And it gives a beautiful window here, beautiful view of the Montreal Park. So be ready here. Next corner just here on your right hand side, McTavish pedestrian street. You have this beautiful view of the Montreal Park with all these beautiful colors here. Et voila. Take a look left and right hand side here. Beautiful view here of the Montreal. We're back then here along the former Anglo-Saxon bourgeoisie district of the city. And we nicknamed this part of the city here the Golden Square Mile, while the 1 square mile district. And as we go, take a look here. It's going to be on your right and left hand side of the bus. You will have some old former private residence here, witness of its golden age. It's coming up just on the next block here after the traffic light. Take a look. The one which is on your left hand side here is absolutely gorgeous. And then you will have 3 others, beautiful buildings here to your right hand side. Just now here, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's former private residence here with all these details and so on. Coming up, and imagine that back then here, the whole Sherbrooke Street where we're driving along here was all aligned with these buildings. To your left-hand side corner here, we have the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. This is an iconic hotel where Liz Taylor and Richard Burton, they got married here inside of this hotel in 1964. That was the 4th marriage of Mrs. Taylor, and guess what? She remarried here 3 more times afterwards. Well, actually, she remarried 4 more times because she remarried a second time, Mr. Richard Burton here in 1973 in Botswana. First time she married him, it was here in Montreal, 1964. And Leonard going down to the left. Too many things to see here. Too many things to see here. To your right hand side corner here, we have the Museum of Fine Arts here, which is the first Museum of Fine Arts here built up in the city. And then we have the then we have the church here on your right hand side corner here. This is the church, St. Andrew's and St. Paul Church, which is a Presbyterian church. And people who are here on the second deck, you can turn around here and look behind you on your right hand side corner. On your right hand side corner, take a look how beautiful is this church here. This is the American and Erskine Church here, neo-revival style architecture, built up in the late 1800s. Now this is not longer a church anymore. It's here the Bourget Hall, which is a music hall, hosting concert and so on. We have this beautiful cottage here, English style cottage, the Tudor style home here. It feels like this is England here, especially with this gray and humid weather and raining weather. It definitely feels like this is England here, English style cottage here. That shows here the British influence of the city of Montreal. And these homes here, let me tell you, they are quite expensive here. Nothing under $1 million here. Nothing under nothing under $2 million actually, sorry. Nothing under $2 million. So as you can see here, we're climbing up here the hill. We're going towards the Parc Montreal. And coming up front to the left corner here, we have the Glen Eagle building, which is a large luxury apartment building built up just before the 1930s, just before the Great Depression of the 1930s. And to your right hand side here, you have the beautiful Parc Montreal, where we'll be going in a few minutes. Parc Montreal with all these beautiful colors here popping up. Celsius, which is Fahrenheit, around 40 Fahrenheit. And we have not as much snow as we used to have here. The snow period is coming later and later on. It's getting rare to have snow for Christmas. So the snow is coming later on and it's leaving earlier, but we still have some major snowfalls, and we have to imagine that we still have to clean up all the street and the sidewalk here after each snowfalls, and it costs a lot of money to the city. It costs around $200 million here every year to the city to clean up all the street and the sidewalk. So we just got inside the Montreal Park. We're gonna go through Parc Montreal here from west to east, and you have here on your left hand side here the Cemetery Notre-Dame-des-Neiges. If I do the translation, what it means here, Cemetery Notre-Dame-des-Neiges, is the Our Lady of the Snow Cemetery here. This cemetery, back then here the cemetery was not here. It was in downtown Montreal. But with the urban sprawl and so on, we moved here the cemetery Notre-Dame-des-Neiges in the 1850s with the urban sprawl. And that's the biggest cemetery in the country with over 1 million people who are buried here. So I'm gonna up and down here and I will show you all these pictures. So you see very well now, as you know here now, this beautiful cathedral, Marie Queen of the World, church here on your
Hello,
left hand side. And the people who are down here, you will see from the students here, on your right hand side here. This beautiful cathedral, Marie Queen of the World. In front of us here, right hand side corner here, we have the Fairmont Queen Elizabeth Hotel, where Yoko Ono and John Lennon, they wrote the song Keep a Piece of Chance in the 1970s. Coming up and keep it ready here for your left hand side here, just here on your left hand side, we'll have a beautiful view here of the Montreal Park with the Ring of Montreal, beautiful Ring of Montreal that gives a beautiful view here over the Montreal Park. It's now straight on your left hand side here. Take a look, Ring of Montreal, which is a public art here. It gives a beautiful window here of the Parc Montreal. This is where we're going to go at the end of the tour. At the bottom of the Parc Montreal you have McGill University campus and the former Royal Victoria Hospital, and if you look a little bit behind now on your left hand side, you see the cross of the Montreal on top. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Montreal City. In terms of geography, and the people who are up here, you can turn around here and look at me here. I have a map of Montreal Island that will come down in a few minutes for you guys. So Montreal City is an island, and don't get me wrong, this is not a tropical island. We have cold winters here coming up soon, unfortunately. But we are an island because we are surrounded by rivers. Down on the south, we have the St. Lawrence River. We'll see the St. Lawrence River as we're going to go to the old port of Montreal. And up in the north, we have the Ottawa River. The St. Lawrence River is coming from the Ontario Lake, and it's going to flow all the way up to the Atlantic Ocean. And up in the north, the Ottawa River is coming from Ottawa, the capital of Canada, and it's going to go drop into the St. Lawrence River at the eastern point of Montreal Island. Montreal City, the city of Montreal was founded by the French. The French are going to be settling here first on the year of 1642. It was exactly on the 8th of May 1642 that the French arrived here and settled to Montreal. So Montreal is old of 383 years old. 120 years later, on the year of 1760, September 1760, who is coming over and taking over the city of Montreal of the French? It's going to be the British Empire. This is the reason why nowadays Montreal is totally bilingual city in between. Largest Catholic church in the country. As you can see here, this huge dome here on the left hand side. It is the largest Catholic church in the country and the largest place of pilgrimage all across North America. St. Joseph Orthodox here to you, left hand side.
Thank you for watching the video, guys, and I hope you like it as much as we did. It's really good to be here, I think, during the fall because of the colorful trees and, of course, the Notre Dame, the churches. And yeah, it's really a good experience, and having this tour we learned a lot as well, and hopefully we can come back here in summer so we can see the difference between summer and fall. And again, thank you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video.